Taking full control is a stroke through the park. You wouldn't even know if I were the all-spark. Transform your bark. Town sounds your right. Gladiators might while at a bullfight. Slide, dog, if your capital presumes it. You know what's my time and if the master says it's cute, it's a code.
Okay, so my name's Mami. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I also call myself doctor who supports people to flourish. And that is really the heart of the integrative holistic medicine that I practice, because each one of us have a wonderful healing power within. So that needs to be activated and that needs to be radiated. So I'm from a small town in Japan near the beach, but also there's some mountains, so it's from the countryside. I grew up lots of nature, and so that's my background. And at the age of 16, I went to United States as an exchange student, and so that was my first time abroad. And since then, I guess I'm kind of in North America. Like half my life is in North America and half of my life in Japan. So I feel like kind of the harmonious blend of two cultures is something important for me. Like not 100% Japanese in some way, but kind of integrating the beauty of Western culture. And that's I also offer in my practice. What I do is really like led by my experiences. So that is actually the healing journey that I've taken. So I needed to heal my body, but that wasn't enough. I need to look into my mind, my soul. So from my experience, I thought, okay, this holistic medicine is so necessary to reconnect my wholesomeness. And that's what I do. The Japanese way of saying like well-lived life, and that is, I think, the practice of traditional Japanese culture. It wasn't just the absence of illness, absence of disease. Like people love to enjoy life. So in Japan, like the culture is so rich. Like every season they have a different food to enjoy, and so the clothing and even chinaware and the paintings and the flowers, and it's about like really enjoying and living in harmony with nature. So being healthy, being well means actually, in a way, it's an art. It's an aesthetic practice. So from that, I call it the art of living. I think it's so rewarding. I feel like it's so general. It's rewarding and meaningful, but how that person actually transform. I would say actually how that person actually transcend. Because when you go through the healing process, it's not just healing, it actually you become who you really are. And in that process, it's not just shifting or changing. I think the best part I like about my practice is probably when I witness how amazing that person is. Like the person can really heal. Like the person has really so much love and the wisdom within. And when we have illness or a problem, that's when we kind of ready to search to find it. So every time I see that kind of coming out, that is like the moment I really like and I really actually enjoy and treasure. It's delicious food for sure. So again, the delicious in Japanese means savoring beauty of the wholesomeness. So the beauty is not just taste, it also all the senses. So like the look, the smell and sound, even though the food doesn't make sound, but like the texture and smell, and also not just the physical, but also the emotions and thoughts, and sometimes the memory that triggered when you're eating the food, and also the spiritual connections, because the food is a gift from the nature, and also about the sharing. So that's what I think it's a delicious food. So it's a long definition, but I think Japanese cuisine is like that. It's very simple, but it always so seasonal and local, and we share with other people, like usually family. And I think we see that in Italian and any kind of traditional cuisine. I don't know if it's a project, but I like to go all over the world and share the delicious moments with other people. So again, the delicious moment is the moment when the person can really savor the true beauty of their wholesomeness. And when we can share that, that's like so joyful. And I think that's therapeutic. And also, in a way, I believe if we are happy, we will make the peaceful world. So I think that contributes to the world peace. You know, the first thing that comes to my mind is be myself. And so that's not by someone particular, but every time someone says that to me, like I'm reminded, oh yeah, it's okay to be me, not to become someone else. And I think that's also the core of my practice, because being yourself is the most amazing thing that we can be and we can do. So many like studying Japanese and science, and I worked at the bakery when I was a high school student, like selling the breads. And what else did I do? I did translator. I worked at Mount Sinai as a research assistant for psychiatric department. I did a counselor. Oh yeah, one thing was so amazing. So I did a counseling over the internet. So I was here, so I was in Canada, and my clients was in Japan, and those are teenagers going through very difficult time. And in Japan, mental health is still like so much stigma attached to it. So kids don't want to talk about it, and they feel even ashamed to bring it up. So at that time, using emails are a wonderful medium for them, because they don't have to see anyone. They can be kind of secretive about it. So I felt so amazing to be able to do that, because also around the high school time, I was having such a difficult time. And now being able to actually really understand where they're coming from, and still being abroad, I could be so helpful. So that's like one of the best part-time job I had. And other than that, I worked at the restaurant. So I was a server at the kaiseki restaurant. So that actually inspires me so much about to develop delicious moment concept, because kaiseki cuisine, it evolved from Zen tradition. So it's not only food, it's all about hospitality and really connect with nature, appreciating the wholesomeness of our life itself. So it's usually like 12 courses or more, and each dish reflects a different style of cooking, like raw to boiling to grilling to deep fry, and each Chinaware is different, and it's such an art piece, like it's so beautiful. And interacting with the customer, you know, really it's about like how much special you can make that moment for them. And I enjoy so much. Yeah. I have two. The first thing came up to me was a couple months ago. We had someone who had a heart attack in this building. And that was like a week after I had a CPR. So it's like, wow, this is a real life moment. So yeah, we had a CPR, and I had aroma oil here. And it was so amazing. He came back when he smelled the peppermint essential oil. So I'm like, whoa, this is so powerful. Yeah, so that was one scariest moment I had. And he survived. So yeah. Yeah. And another scariest moment was, so this was also like a turning point in my life. So that was when I was 18, the freshman in university. So up to that point, I was quite I don't know the word, maybe ill. Like during my time in high school in the States was probably the most difficult time in my life, because I experienced abuse and bullying, and which I totally didn't expect. And so I wasn't able to really digest what it all was, and so I developed eating disorder that time, and that was all secret too, because back at home in Japan, I was the opposite. Like I was kind of like always a leader in the class and somehow protecting people from getting bullied, and so I never thought I would be the other side. So that was really shocking. But anyhow, so everything was secret when I went back to Japan. But inside of my heart was so dark and so broken. So when I went to the university, I was still studying. Oh, but okay, so at that time in high school in the States, I had music. And the music helped me so much. Like I cried with music, and I went somewhere else with music. So music became my friend, and it was just so profound. So I wanted to study like about the music. How can I actually help someone else also using the music, because it helps me so much. So that's why I wanted to study music therapy in the States, which I didn't think I want to go back. But at that time, there was no music therapy program in Japan. So that's why I went back. But at the same time, my health was deteriorating so badly because I didn't tell anyone and I didn't do anything. And so one day my friend kind of dragged me to go to health center because I stopped eating. I kind of tojikomori in my own room. So I kind of just stay in my room, not going to class anymore. And so he dragged me to the health center, and I was hooked up to different machines, and I was scared. Like I'm always healthy, and then doctor was kind of mad. Like she looked so serious, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was kind of so scared, and she told me, "You can die anytime. You can have a heart attack anytime." And that moment I was kind of so scared, and up to that point I actually wanted to actually die, and I was thinking of suicide and all these things. But when I realized I could, sorry. Yeah, so I am a representative of this project in Canada, as actually I was his translator when he was here, and I always actually liked this concept because it really visualized how our intention, words can actually have impact in everything, because we are water, and so this planet, so everything is actually the foundation is water. So this is the crystal when we send love and gratitude. So this is the impact we can make. And this kind of like shows me how love and gratitude is powerful. And so that how actually we can heal ourselves and even other people in the world. I think my life experiences have led me to go this way. I feel like it's not something I've chosen in some way because I have led, and so that I feel it's my calling. I'm meant to be doing this, even though sometimes I feel like, why am I doing this? But every time I'm also reminded this is my path.